we have a player profile live on the show, live guest, Livy Showalter from West Branch, senior girls basketball player, joining us on the show. Livy, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Well, thank you for having me.
You got it. We said it's senior year. So the first question is, what's it been like going through this year, knowing that it's your last go around and you're doing everything for the last time?
I mean, it's been great, especially like the whole team in general. Like, it's like a great group of girls, and like our coaches and even our ball girls. Like, we just have like a great community. But like after volleyball season ended and like how quickly it like went, like and like when the soccer girls said like their season went by really quick, like we made it a point to make sure that like we like took in every single moment of this season because we knew it was gonna go by really fast. So that's what we're still doing every day.
You have a comment already on the Facebook page. Is Mrs. Householder says, "Hi, Livy." So got some love going on.
Yeah.
As we go into the senior season, and we talked to a lot of seniors at YSN, and they all kind of have a different point in their year where it hits them that they're a senior, and this is the last time they're going to be able to do it. Has it hit you yet? Has the reality sunk in that it's senior season?
I mean, yeah, I kind of did after, like I said, our last volleyball game, because it just like it hit me like with how fast it went, and I was like, wow, like that's like, because like I only played two sports, so like to me that's like half of my senior year
Right.
like is over already. So like going into basketball, I was like, I had to make sure, like I said last, like I really take my time and slow down because I really want this, like I want to savor these moments, and like it kind of hit me like a couple months ago, yeah.
You already had one senior night with volleyball. Now you're gonna have another one with basketball. How do you handle those emotions? What kind of emotions hit you on senior night?
I mean, I obviously get sad because like I'm like I've grown up with these girls, like even like the girls that aren't in my grade, like we like have played sports together. So like it's like sad to like know that like I'm not gonna like be with them anymore, and like it's weird thinking like, oh, next year I'll be back, but I'll be like watching in the stands. It's just like
Right.
a weird feeling in general. But like the game of senior night is always special because it's like I don't know, we you play the game for the seniors, and it's just like it's a fun night.
All right, so now let's talk about this basketball season. Off to a fantastic start in West Branch this year. You guys have been playing so well, and you have so many people back from last year, and it seems like it's a group that is focused and wants to achieve big things. What's this year been like so far? What has been the feel inside the locker room, inside the practices? Obviously, we've seen the games that you guys have played and the scores you guys have been putting up. What's the whole season been like for you so far?
It's been really fun, like having like I mean, it's always fun to like have a winning season, and that's like where we're at right now. But like we know that like we feel like we like have earned like where we've gotten like in the season based on like how hard we worked this summer. Like it's crazy like with like our basketball team, like everybody shows up for everything in the summer. Like we're like a very committed team, like everyone on the team is. So when we like get like the moments of like having good games, like we think like, oh, we've earned that, like we played really good, like our defense is like really good, and like that's what helped us win the game. But like after all our games, like and like going into the practice the next day, our coach makes a point to somehow like one way or another he says like you gotta stay humble, but you gotta stay hungry, and like that's like kind of what we go in, like the mindset that we have for every practice. It's like we know like we can't be content with where we're at because like each game's just going to give us more of a challenge, but we have to want to like face that challenge, and I think we're doing a really good job like coming into practice and like working hard every single day.
A lot of good teams use that stay hungry mindset, but I imagine in West Branch when you walk into the gym and you see all the state banners for girls basketball and you see all the conference championships and the record books for girls basketball and all the great players that have come before in this program. Does that make it easier to stay hungry and want to get this program back to that kind of tradition?
um I don't know if I'd say easier, but I'd say like it makes it fun, like it's a fun goal to chase, like knowing like it's like a big tradition to like have like those championships. So like it makes everyone, I guess, yeah, it would be easier because at the same time like everybody on the team wants to achieve those goals, so like we can count on anyone to like be there for us to like help us get there at like the end of the season.
If we rewound you back to your freshman season, walking into that gym and seeing all that stuff and knowing exactly what this program was and the tradition of success it has, what was it like to finally be a part of it? And was it daunting for you? Did it make you nervous to come into this program, or was it kind of a challenge and made you excited to try to be the next player that gets into those moments?
um It was kind of intimidating just because like it's like freshman year, like I didn't like it was weird. But like having like like a summer before like the actual season starts and like getting to know the girls and like that was COVID year, so like we didn't get to do as much as like we have like the next couple years, but like building relationships with the team like the summer before definitely made like going into the actual season like a lot like more fun and like easier. And like also I was a ball girl for the team in sixth
Mm.
grade, so like I knew like a lot about like how Coach DeShields like ran practices and like the expectations kind of. So like going into like my freshman year, I was like I kind of had a taste of what it was going to be like. Obviously, it was not the same because I was in sixth grade and now I was actually on the team. But overall, I think it was just like exciting to actually be a part of something like bigger than myself.
All right, so we take you back. You're a ball girl in sixth grade, and you're
Mhm.
watching this team do amazing things. And now here you are. You're a senior. You're a role model yourself. You have other girls looking up to you the same way you did when you were in sixth grade to those girls. What's that like for you? What kind of moment is like to kind of go full circle and think about like I was watching this team do this when I was in sixth grade as a ball girl, and now all these younger girls in the program are watching me and wanting to be where I am when they grow up.
I mean, it's really cool because like sometimes like you think about just playing the game and you don't realize like how many people like are actually watching you. And then like sometimes like our coach always says like you never know like who's in the stands. Like you might have somebody watching you like this is their first time watching you, this is their last time watching you. Like you never know, like always play your heart out. So like that's what I always try to do every time I play. But like it's cool because like when like I was a ball girl, I was in sixth grade. So the freshmen on the team were actually seniors when I was a freshman. So like
Mm.
I don't know if like Coach DeShields does that age gap on purpose. So like I was a ball girl with people that I would be eventually playing with, and it's like it's cool because like at the time I didn't really think about that, and then when I was like a freshman and they were seniors, it was like we kind of had a slight relationship there already, and that was like a really cool thing getting into that.
All right. So when we talk about, things that you've grown in since freshman year, what do you think are the biggest differences between you then and you now?
Ultimately, I think it's just like my strength. Like I've done like a lot. I feel like I've worked a lot harder to like get stronger, and just my confidence in general like has just gotten a lot better, I think.
We hear a lot of players talk about how their confidence grows as they go on. Where do you get your confidence? Where does the confidence that you have in yourself come from?
Oh, that just comes from the rest of my team, I think, because like if you know like the rest of your team has your back, then like what else can you do? Like it's just like if they're there for you, then like like you can do it for them. So like that's just like how I roll, I guess.
We were asking you about being a role model of this community, and so now we have to ask you who some of your role models are, and who are the people in your life that you look up to, and you say, when you're in maybe a bad day or you just need a little boost, who are the people that you look to and you go to for that encouragement?
I mean, obviously my parents, because like they're always there for me, and I can talk to them about anything, and it's just like I don't know, they've raised me. Like everything I am is because of them. But like through sports, I'd probably have to say like my friends. Like I know I can always talk to them. Like whether they're on the team or like they're just my friends in school, and then like my coaches. Like our coaches have such a good relationship with like all of us. Like not only our main coach, but all of our assistant coaches. And like I know if I had an issue, whether if it was not even basketball related, I know I could talk to them about anything. And like they're all huge role models for me, and like they've all been there since like I was a ball girl too. So like I don't know, like they've been there, they've been through this program like the whole time. So like they're just like I don't know, they're just all important to me.
You're coached by kind of a legend in girls basketball with Walter Shields being your head coach, and obviously he's been there for quite a while, and you've built a strong relationship with him. Tell us what it's like to be coached by him, and what it means to you, and how much you're trying to suck in the last year with him, because we talked about trying to treasure the last year with your teammates and the sisters that you've built over the years, but it's also your last year to be coached by Walter Shields. What's that been
Mhm.
like for you?
I mean, it's been great. He obviously like makes his program like what it is. Like my cousins are like a lot older than me and they played for him, and then my sister's 4 years older than me and she played for him. So like I like grew up watching him coach as well as like playing with him the past 4 years, and he just made this program like he's just made it great, and he's made it such a home for us to come to. Like I spend so much of my time with the basketball team and the coaches more than like I do like with anybody else. And like if you don't have a good, you know, like relationship with your coaches and your like teammates, then like you're not gonna have a good team. And he does a really good job of making sure like we have a good team relationship between players and players and players and coaches and coaches and coaches. And like he's really like set the tone for like the whole program, and he's done a great job. And I'm definitely gonna miss playing for him.
You already knew him pretty well before you stepped on the floor as a freshman. But what were some things that maybe surprised you about, what his coaching style was like, or maybe you were like, oh wow, this is new. I haven't seen this before. What were some first impressions when you finally were able to start being coached by Walter Shields?
I'd say probably like he's just like he's a lot more fun than like you'd think. Like he's not all serious. Like he knows like when like obviously like we have to be serious at practice, but there's also times that like you can goof around and have fun and like make it a good time. And like originally when I thought going into the program, just like watching him coach, like it was just all serious, all business during a game, and that's obviously like what it has to be. But like when you step into practices, like you have those moments where like you can have a good time with like your teammates and your coaches, and that's kind of like where like also like the relationship gets like built together and like gets built better is because of like how he can like have fun with us too.
Is there a common Walter Shields quote that you guys hear a lot in practice or in the locker room before games or anything like that?
Not really like that I can think of, but like I know every year like he comes up with something different to like say to us, and like this year like is like prove something, like we have something to prove. So like that's kind of like what he's been saying like this whole season, because like we definitely have something to prove after last season. So like that's kind of engraved in our minds this season for sure.
What one of your teammates do you think would have the best impression of Coach Shields? If we had to ask everyone on the team to be like, hey, give us your best impression of Walter Shields, who do you think would be able to nail it?
Probably Allie Carnegie, because she can do an impression of anyone whenever you ask her to.
Love it. Before we let you go, Scotty's with us on every Wednesday, so we're gonna have him ask you a question, and then we'll let you give your shout outs and the people that you want to thank for the end of the interview.
Yeah, Olivia, again, thanks for joining us. And I just wanted to ask you kind of a two-part question here. The first thing is like mentally, when you talk about volleyball and then basketball as well, is there a different way you prepare yourself mentally depending on what sport it is, or do you pretty much like get yourself ready and psych yourself up in the same way? And then the second part of that, when it comes to basketball and your high school career, is there anybody that you've kind of like modeled your game after, whether it be like girls basketball or guys?
So the first one, I kind of pretty much do the same thing I did for volleyball. Like I try to like watch film on like teams if we were able to get that. Just like prepare myself like by like listening to music and staying quiet and trying to get locked in before the game starts. So those are pretty much the same like between sports. I know basketball like we do a little bit more preparation for teams with like scouting reports, and we definitely have a lot more film. So like I would say like probably just more like of that, like preparing for the other team. That's probably the only thing I do different between the two. And honestly, I kind of just like play my own game, I guess. If I were like role model, I guess, for like basketball, it'd just be like anybody else like in the program that's like come before me that like played as a post, like watching them like grow up, especially when I was a ball girl. And like Natalie Zukowski was a senior, so she was like one of our really big posts at the time, and like I just remember looking up to her and being like, wow, I want to be like her, like I want to play like her, like on the post. And I mean, I keep trying to like be a better version of myself every day when that comes to that, but yeah, that's pretty much her.
All right, Livy, like we said, before we let you go, we like to let the players, every player profile we do, to give their shout outs, to give the people that are in their support system some time to shine. So I want to give you the time to be able to do that.
Well, just all my thank yous go to my teammates and my coaches and my whole family. Like I have such a big support system through all of them, and my family, like I have like my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, family, friends, like they're always showing up to my games, and like they've pushed me to be like who I am. And like my teammates, especially the ones that like I grew up playing like other sports with, like we grew up together, like in and out of school, in and out of sports, and like they're just like a huge reason of where I am today as well. And then my coaches, obviously, like they just like they always like they know like you can be a better version of yourself every day, and like they're definitely there to push me. And I just want to say thank you to them too.
All right, Livy, we want to thank you so much for taking the time to join us today, and we appreciate the time. We wish you the best of luck the rest of the senior season, and
Thank
we
you.
can't wait to talk to you again real soon.
Yep, thank you so much for having me.